Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. The Houston Astros play the Chicago White Sox for Game 1 of a 3-game series. The Astros, this is also Game 31 of the regular season, playing this White Sox team where they played them last year in Chicago. They'll play them again this year in Chicago. The series will be fun, as you'll see Framber Valdez and Hunter Brown on the mound for the first two of this series. You'll see the two aces, and then you'll see Lance McCullers Jr. make his return on Sunday. I'm feeling good, pretty good about this series. The Astros last year faced the White Sox, took 2 of 3. They did lose that first game to no other than the pitcher that will be on the mound tonight. That's Jonathan Cannon. This guy shocked the Astros last year. This was a rookie who got his first win against his Astros team last year, and he killed them. He really did. And I think he only gave up 1 run, if I'm correct. And he only gave up like 2 or 3 hits, though. He absolutely murdered this Astros team last year. So far this year, he's 1-3 with a 4.50 ERA. We'll see if he can get it on against the Astros team. I mean, he in that game, he had Altuve go 0 for 4. Yanner Diaz went 0 for 4. The only guys that had success for the Astros in that game was Mauricio Dubon, who went 1 for 4 in that game, and Victor Caratini, who went 1 for 3 in that game. Outside of that, this whole Astros team did nothing against Jonathan Cannon. He didn't give up any walks. I don't think he gave up any runs. I think, if I'm correct, I think there was one more hit. I think Trey Cabbage, if I'm correct, I could be wrong, but I think Trey Cabbage had a hit in that game for the Astros, and that was the 3rd hit. But I believe there were only 3 hits in that game. It was Dubon, Caratini, and Cabbage, and there might have been another hit, but I don't think the Astros scored any runs in that game, and if they did, it was 1. He was a rookie last year when he did this. He killed them. I mean, this kid is 24 years old now. Was 23 years old when he did what he did last year against his Astros team, and so I don't think you can, you can't take him for granted, especially with what he did against his Astros team last year. But I'm excited to see what this Astros team can do tonight against him. Maybe get some revenge. This last series, what it was about revenge for the Astros, taking 2 of 3 against the Detroit Tigers, who took them out in the wild card. So maybe they can get out, get some revenge for Jonathan Cannon tonight, who's on the mound. But I think what would definitely help this team is Framber Valdez. Here's the thing I'm going to say with Framber Valdez. Can he finally go out there and get that first win since opening day? The Astros do have 2 wins this season when Framber Valdez pitches on the mound. One was in Seattle, which was an extra innings win. Ryan Gusto got the win in that one since he pitched in the 11th inning for the Astros, and the Astros took the lead in the 11th inning. Gusto got the win in the second win Valdez had of the season. But Valdez, the last pitcher win he has was opening day. This is a great chance for Framber Valdez to change that around and get his first win since opening day. The team does have 2 wins this year when Framber pitches, but only 1 win going to Framber Valdez. The one in Seattle did go to Gusto, like I just mentioned. But so this should be an interesting one. Let's go over what the Astros lineup looks like protecting Framber Valdez tonight. You would hope Framber give him some offense. He went 8 innings the other day. Facing Kansas City, only gave up 2 earned runs in 8 innings. And for Framber, going 8 innings, 2 earned runs, the Astros offense gave him 0. So I think anything would be better than what Framber got in his last start. But what does this lineup look like? A lot different than what Framber last saw, because now there's been a change in the lineup. Jeremy Pena at leadoff. We've seen that. We saw that the whole Detroit series. You saw that the last game of the Kansas City series. This is something that has changed right after Framber's start, and I think it's been for the best thing. Altuve's been knocking in more RBIs since then. Pena's hit the ball well since this lineup change, and maybe this will help Framber Valdez because he has not had this lineup change since this lineup change. Yes, it's gone on a while, 4 games now, but has not happened since Framber. It happened after Framber last started. But Altuve's at 2 in left field. Jordan Alvarez back in the lineup. He did DH in the series finale. I mean, he did have the day off in the series finale. Will DH today. Isaac Paredes at third base, and at the 4th spot at 5 is Christian Walker at first base. He did go 0 for 4, but was the heart and soul of this offense in the first 2 games of that Detroit series. Yanner Diaz is at catcher, and then Brendan Rodgers is at second base. Cam Smith in right field, and Jake Myers in center field to finish out the bottom of the order. Now, one thing I will mention, I did talk about Astros that struggled against Jonathan Cannon. Jonathan Cannon in that game, that the Astros got killed in. Brendan Rodgers hit a home run off of Jonathan Cannon. Now, Brendan Rodgers didn't play for the Astros last year. He played for the Rockies. So he was with the Rockies, faced Cannon, hit a home run off of him. So I like Brendan Rodgers being in the lineup today, having a home run history against Mr. Cannon. And Brendan Rodgers is yet to hit his first home run in 2025. Cannot be tonight for Rodgers. And, I don't know about Caratini not being in the lineup. He was one of the few Astros. You got one of the few Astros. You got you only got two guys on the roster that had a hit against Jonathan Cannon when the Astros faced him last year. I'm not counting Rodgers because he wasn't on the team last year, and neither of them in the lineup, in Dubon and Caratini. I get wanting to have Yanner Diaz in the lineup today. He just had the day off. I understand Diaz being in the lineup, but, I don't know. Could have Dubon potentially played today instead of Can Smith? I don't know. But we'll see how Can Smith does today in the lineup at the 8th spot. It's not like he's been bad or anything, but Dubon has been one of the few guys on this roster to be able to get a hit against Cannon, and knowing how much this Astros team struggled against him. Another thing I will say, Yordan Alvarez, this is another thing I think is key to say. Yordan Alvarez did not play in that game when they played the White Sox and lost. Yordan Alvarez did not play in that game. So Yordan did not face Cannon. So that's something I would note for that. But, if the Astros get a win tonight, that'd be great. Go to 17-14. I think 16-14 is actually a great start to the season if you compare it to last year. Last year, the Astros went 89 and 73 or 70. I think it was 80. I think it was 80. Sorry, 88 and 73. The Astros went last year, having that last game canceled, and even though they had a really good record, they had a terrible start. You look at, here's one thing I look at. This team 16-14 through 30 games. Last year, the Astros through 30 games, 10-20. Also, how many games did it take the Astros last year to get 16 wins? This year, it's 30. Last year was 41 games it took the Houston Astros to win a total of 16 games. 41 that it took this Astros team last year. So doing a lot better to me to start off this year than they were last year. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.